in bed, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on.
What's going on, guys? It's Bryce here, and I'm here with my boy Connor. Say what's up, Connor.
Yo, it's good.
All right, this is Flexecution on Twitter. I'm sure you've seen his stuff, most likely. You know, he's always on the Reddit. He's always scourging for information. You know, he's the one who found Half-Breed early before anyone else. But we're here to find out what the RattPack's favorite Logic album is. So we're basically been interviewing groups. We're going to go in chronological order. We're going to pull in groups, people under pressure, Incredible True Story, Bobby Tarantino, all the way up until College Park. There's going to be some unpopular picks. We might have like some one-person defenders here, but that's all right. That's all right. Everyone's opinions count. So without further ado, are you ready, Connor, to get into this?
Yeah, let's get into it, man.
Under Pressure, Logic's debut album, my favorite Logic album of all time. So I'm gonna chime in a little bit here and give you my thoughts. Under Pressure, like, it just means so much to me. Like, it was like, that's like quintessential like Logic in his come up. Like, despite it being from like 2014, you know, after he pretty much made it when that album came out after the mixtapes, you know, he was a rapper in the industry, but like the shit he talks about on the album is like, it's literally like a fucking autobiography. Like, you can just look into his life and like his mind state, and I don't think any other Logic album has like given you such like a clear visual image of like his mental that album, and that's why I like it so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, yeah, I was about to say yeah too. Like, I fuck with this so much because like it's like his most personal album, I feel like, and like just the energy from it, and just like, you know, the emotion that he goes to when making that album. It's just like, bro, this is like, it really got to him, so he just made this album, especially after the whole mixtapes and whatnot. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, the mixtapes were very much like about his rapping ability. Under Pressure was, in my opinion, the transition from like just someone who could rap good to an artist.
I was just about to say, like, I felt that album was a perfect transition from the mixtape to the album, Logic.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
I went back to it like last week or so. I hadn't listened to it in a while. It's still my favorite album of all time, but
same.
When I came back to it like last week, and I'm like, yeah, this still holds up. This like me. I now understand some of the like slight criticisms of some of the songs, like Bounce or whatever. But still, it holds up. Still, Bounce slaps, and every single song slaps.
Oh yeah, no. Every single song on that album is just perfect from start to finish. It's just like I could like listen to the entire thing over and over again. I just wouldn't get tired of it. That's how like perfect it is in a sense.
For sure.
It fits like every mold. I mean, I know like new Logic now can fit like, you know, he's doing more trap stuff, more singing stuff, and Under Pressure he's really only doing like the hip hop like raw shit. But like in that subgenre of rap, it fits like every mood. Like, there's a song for every single mood on that album, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's also kind of like you get to see the two different perspectives. Like, we have post-retirement Logic doing like what you said, all the trap and stuff like that. And then you go back to like old Logic, and it's kind of like, yo, this like hip hop type stuff. You know, it's always great to come back to that.
Yeah, it's always like a blast from the past, and that album like reminds me of that whole era, like from like 2013 to 2015. Like, that whole like era for hip hop was like huge for me, especially that album. So like, it's just that shit, bro. Like, nothing's gonna change it. It's that shit, quite literally.
I feel like he sounded different than any other album, either before or after. Even if you go the mixtape right before or the album right after, he sounds still very different. I feel like he sounded hungry and calculated, and every bar was written. I don't remember off the top any fillers or anything. And
I was gonna say that too. Like lyrically, I feel like this might be like his strongest album. I would argue that Incredible True Story is up there as well, but this is like one of his lyrically strongest albums like to date.
For sure,
I agree with that for sure. My favorite track on the album, Under Pressure. It's my favorite song of all time. Title track. Amazing.
Yeah, I agree with that. That whole song is just amazing. Like,
yeah, dude, that 9-minute stretch, dude. Wild, dude.
That song is good, but me personally, my most favorite song on this album is Gang Related.
That's my number 2.
Love-
Respect it, yeah.
Dude, I remember when I was re-listening to the album and that song was playing, and especially like the ending verse, like he was just going nuts on that last few like seconds, and I was just but my headphone came off. I was bobbing my head so hard.
Yeah. And I think third place, it's tough between Growing Pains 3 and Soul Food, but I'm gonna go with Soul Food because
That's valid. That's valid.
it's crazy.
For me, Growing Pains 3 is just perfect. Like, that's my favorite song ever.
Yeah,
from that
that's my number 3 spot. Growing Pains 3.
It's so good, man.
You know, I've thought about this. Like, what's the most underrated Logic song? And I always have two in mind. One is that song with Pusha T. I forget the name.
Oh,
Risk.
Shit hard.
Risk.
Shit hard.
Yeah,
And the second one is Never Enough. Never Enough never gets love.
Ooh.
But just that first minute, there's no drums, no singing, no rapping, nothing. It's just like the music.
Up, yeah.
just yeah.
It never gets enough love. No one mentions Never Enough, but for me, I love that song.
Yeah, that's a good pick, bro.
Mhm.
Good pick.
I feel like no one really talks about Metropolis that much. I don't know if I might be tripping or not, but I really love Metropolis too.
I love it a lot
low-key.
too. This shit's hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
The outro is perfect. Till the end is perfect.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing outro.
It is.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Wait, real quick,
intro,
how do we feel about the deluxe songs though?
I fuck with that.
I like it. I love it.
Honestly, I didn't even when I first was listening to the album, I didn't even know like those deluxe songs were deluxe songs till like a year later. So I just
Yes.
associate the deluxe with the album personally. Like
Okay.
yeah.
That's valid.
But you're right. Till the
I
end is
love
the
deluxe
outro. I understand, but yeah.
It's a beautiful outro. It's an
It's a
amazing
beautiful
outro.
outro. Like I know a lot of people were saying like Light Year is on top with like Till the End. I can see why, but like I feel like Till the End is a little bit better. The little take there.
I think
It's
Lightyear
tough,
might
it's
be my
tough.
favorite, dude. Lightyear might be that shit,
They're
bro.
both great outros.
Oh no, for sure. Both of them are amazing outros, but little take there.
It-
Hey, thank you. Thanks for
10 out of 10.
having me.
10 out of 10.
10 out
Can't
of
wait.
10,
Write me in the comments. I don't care.
All right. Incredible true story. Logic.
Yes, sir.
Album. How we feeling about it? Just lay it on me. Why is it your favorite? Why does it stand up against the rest so highly?
I could tell a story like about the day it dropped.
Is it incredible?
Tell an incredible true story.
It's incredible true story. I'm not gonna lie. So basically, like I told y'all, the first song I ever heard from Bobby was The Spotlight. And I wasn't like die hard back then, because you just hear a good song, you're like, dang, that guy's sick. But like my homies loved him and like all his mixtapes. So I was always hearing like random Logic songs always. And I'm hanging out with these dudes and they're like, dude, Logic's new album drops. I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of like this guy's music, And they listen to it from start to end, bro. And I just never have been so like, holy shit, I gotta go discuss, like, I gotta go look this guy up, like raced back home, like type shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the storytelling, the production, all of it, bro. And people like to say Logic, like, never sang before. Like, remember when he started singing in like After Everybody, and he's like, everyone's like, Logic singing, what is this? Bro, he was singing in The Incredible True Story, like in Contact, bro. He's like harmonizing at the end, bro. Like, am I wrong? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
He can sing on that shit.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like,
album.
Even on the mixtapes, he'd be singing.
yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are tripping. I was listening to that fool every day after that, bro. Every day.
It's the first album I heard from him. I think Logic visited the Phase house like the day the album came out or some shit. And I was a little Phase fanboy back in the day, and I saw that shit.
It was like I think a video on that.
Yeah, it was some
When Logic was at the Phase house, bro,
back.
those were the days, bro.
Yeah, that was what got me in. So
Nice, bro.
That's dope, honestly.
Yeah, that was around the time where I was just like, really, dude, really getting into Logic, bro. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, but The Incredible True Story still lives up to this day, bro. With like
Oh yeah.
a lot of music, bro. A lot of artists, like, because it's such a good story too. Like, they're in the spaceship going to paradise, and they have Talia, and she can be anyone. Like, dude, Steve Jobs, Einstein.
I've never seen a album, like a concept album with a storyline, holds such a fucking chokehold on a fan base for like a decade. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
for
saying? Like,
real, bro.
people are
Yes.
still begging like for that shit to get like finished, like the story.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like for them, dude. And he kind of teased one of the songs in College Park is called Paradise, bro. And I was just like, dude.
So I think this is my favorite album, Incredible True Story. I don't know, I just fell in love with the storytelling. Everything's so good about it. What else? I don't know. I like how it transitions from Everybody is really good. Like I think it's the Incredible True Story. Yeah, that's the last song.
Outro, yeah.
And they made it to Paradise or something like that. They made it to a planet. It's
Yeah.
really cool how they like it's like, and then just like Thomas and Kai and everything like that. But I think I picked this one is because I heard of Logic back in 2015. I heard a little bit about him. I think I heard like City of Stars first, and then like I didn't listen to him back then that much.
Banger, by
and then
the
like
way. What?
then when Everybody dropped, like 2 years later, I got into him more. You know, he became like mainstream. So yeah. Honestly, I think my favorite songs is probably Incredible True Story, City of Stars, Stainless. There's some Paradise. There's so many good, like all the production.
I'm a fadeaway kind of guy, bro. Like I'll be bumping
yeah.
fadeaway till I die, bro. That's the only
Yeah.
way, bro. Like that's literally the only way.
Till you fade away.
Yeah, like they gonna know my name, bro. They're gonna know my name. Oh my gosh, bro. What a banger.
Yeah.
Like after all the years, I just been bumping this album. Like, I don't know why. Like it's probably this one and like No Pressure and Under Pressure, but I don't know. This one's still my favorite though. Definitely one of them, City of Stars. I think might be my favorite, my most favorite out of like the whole album. So yeah, that one would be first. It's just the whole like singing part and everything, like, and how it just builds up and like the whole harmonies is coming in, and then he just be rapping his shit off. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's
And
a
then-
wild transition.
Yeah, the first time hearing it, I wish I could go back to that. Like,
Yeah.
it would literally be it's mind blowing. Okay, I think the second one would be. I think it would be an Incredible True Story for the second one. I think that's a good one.
That shit's
whole-
underrated, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. I know we've been talking about that track like a lot during this call, but like I feel like no one talks about that outro.
Yeah, bro. It's fire.
Yeah,
No, it's like
it's wild.
earworming. Like, oh my, like
It is
the
very
whole
musical. Like it's an
Yeah,
experience. The
exactly.
album is an experience. Like I know he says like
Exactly.
College Park's an experience to an extent, but like this album is a fucking experience front to back for sure.
Especially in the time, bro. Like when he was visiting fans on tour and shit. Like
Oh yeah.
watching that.
Crazy.
Yeah, and he's in the jumpsuit, bro. And dude, one of the homies
Oh.
in the Bobby Tarantino, bro, he has the jumpsuit like
Yeah.
hanging up or some shit, bro. It's so like such a time to be alive, bro. Are you serious right now?
That shit is
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. Dude, my top 3 are kind of weird, but like, so it's gonna go Fade Away for sure. Never Been, and then I Am the Greatest, bro.
I fuck with that.
Oh,
Fuck with
Dude,
that. I'm the
I just had to get it off quick. I had to get it off quick before he threw in his third, because like, dude, those songs have played such an important role in my life.
Those are really good
like
ones.
growing up.
my third one, I don't know, it's between Intermission or Stainless.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stainless is
I
so
forgot about
crazy.
Oh,
Stainless, dude.
that was my
Oh.
first line.
That's what I'm saying. No, when I
That
pulled
was
up
my
the
first
track
line,
list, bro,
bro.
I
that's
think it might be Stainless.
I swear.
because like it was hard for me to put fucking Fade Away at my top because Young Jesus is up, like is
Oh
really
my
good.
God.
It's like,
Y'all remind me
Bro.
how good this album is, dude. Fuck.
I know, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
it's such an experience, bro. Like that to me, that
Everything's
album
not me.
is Logic, like that at its purest form, bro. Because like although it's like a story album and it literally has nothing to do with Logic, kind of like it's just musically, it's so Logic to me, bro. Like the way he raps, kind of sings in some songs, like Never Been,
Mm.
bro. Like oh my gosh, bro, he killed that shit. He killed
He
that
feels
shit.
like himself on that album. I would say more than a lot of
Yeah.
other albums.
Like he's being nerdy because like you're in space and like it's a whole story, but then at the same time, bro, he's like spitting bars and like crazy rhyme schemes,
Yeah.
and like he's being like Logic with the bling that we're used to, but he's in a jumpsuit, bro, in space, you know? Like, I'll never forget that music video where he's like walking around the circle of, I think it's like he's in the spaceship or something, and like,
Oh yeah.
oh my gosh.
Oh,
He's
that,
gonna- he's
yeah.
I'm the greatest beat. I know it's not.
Yes, dude. Yes, bro. Yes, dude. I'm like, bro, like he's still that Logic who's like from Maryland and like, you know, like, but he's also like this guy who can come up with this crazy story about two like cool chill ass astronauts going to a new planet to save the human race, bro. God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Logic's the GOAT, bro. I could talk about Logic all day, bro. Like
Oh
that
my
fool's the
God.
GOAT. And the artwork, like, bro, the cockpit of the spaceship, like, are you serious right now? And it's got all of his boys.
That's
It's got like his audio engineer.
Shit is wild.
And then, dude, remember the Easter egg? I'll never forget. Like, you discover the guy in the background, and you're like, "Whoa, dude! I feel so cool,
Yeah.
dude! Oh my gosh, dude! Dude,
Oh.
I didn't even know about Peanuts till I started following Bryce. If I'm gonna be real, I had no clue, bro. Same with Doc D, bro. I didn't even know that fool was Logic, bro.
It's because Logic doesn't actually. Or I don't, okay, I was about to say he doesn't know how to market shit. He does. He just chooses not to. Like he just chooses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like he's just having fun with it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why the Incredible True Story is so good, because it felt like Logic was just having fun. He had all this success after Under Pressure, bro, and like he finally had made it in his eyes, bro, and he just kind of had let loose, bro, and like low key made my like one of the best albums ever, bro. Hey, and we're matching,
course,
bro.
bro.
Fire. This was not
Yeah,
planned.
I got one
This
on
was not
too.
planned.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's funny.
Yes, sir.
So you are the lone Bobby Tarantino one defender here. So why do you like Bobby Tarantino one so much? I do as well. You know, it's right fucking here. I fucking love it. But why do you like it so much? Let me know.
Well, I believe Bobby Tarantino stands out in Logic's discography because, firstly, Bobby Tarantino released in 2016. It represents a significant turning point in Logic's career as he transitions from the intro perspective of lyricism with his previous works to a more confident and assertive approach.
I agree. It's definitely like, you know, exactly what you said. This is his first album that kind of strayed away from lyricism and kind of set the precedent for many, you know, albums to come, just in terms of him doing different things.
And then like the album like also like showcases Logic's ability to handcraft like hard-hitting bass, like heavy hit beats, you know?
Yeah, dude, that wrist is crazy. I mean, obviously Flexecution, but there's some there's some hard bass in a lot of these songs, which I can appreciate a lot.
Just like with like tracks like Flexecution and Wrist, bro, his flow and delivery like are unmatched.
Yeah, he
Absolutely.
didn't really sacrifice too much of like I guess he sacrificed lyricism, but he didn't sacrifice his lyrical ability, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, like the thematic like consistency is like so remarkable. Like his like catchy like he had like a perfect balance of like banger introspective tracks and like catchy hooks.
I agree. It was definitely a pretty diverse.
Yeah.
Definitely at the time, certainly his most diverse project, but I'd say still up there and one of his most diverse.
Bobby Tarantino like also like stands out for me because of its like replay value. Because like I can just like every time I listen to the album, I discover something new. Like I feel like
interesting. It's definitely very replayable. It's very replayable. What are like your top 3 tracks on the album if you had to choose?
Definitely Flexecution.
Connor reference. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Flexecution. What else? Deeper Than Money.
Yes, sir. It's got to be 44 bars, man. No.
This might be controversial, but I'm gonna say Super Mario World. I don't know, brother.
That is
That song's
controversial.
different.
That is controversial, but I fuck with that. I like that.
That was nice.
Slave 2's a sleeper, though. Slave 2's a fucking sleeper, I'll say.
Both slaves are dope, yeah.
This like album that he made, like it's just like a testament to like his evolution as an artist. I feel like
I
it just
agree.
how he takes risks with his sound and like delivers a project that showcases growth and like creativity.
I agree.
It's like you can always like come back to the album and appreciate for its like innovation and artistry.
You got some hot takes here, but honestly, the way you're saying it, I'm inclined to agree because it really is like the first Logic project period to like have such a,
Yeah.
you know, it's just that he's taking, like you said, he's literally just taking risks, and that's something he's done on pretty much every project since Bobby Tarantino 1. He didn't really do it beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Just 30 miles from Detroit.
Here to defend the best Bobby album of all time.
The best Logic album is Everybody. Tell me why, because this one's gonna stir the pot a little bit. Okay, this one.
Absolutely.
So Everybody's probably my favorite Logic project because it's the first that I heard. So I'm a little biased, but I think the first song I heard off of it was 1-800. But after listening to it, I'm also a little biased because I'm also biracial. So hearing hearing Logic talk about the biracial people and Black people in America, it's he does it in such like a beautiful way. Like each song represents a different side of the culture that, you know, is being represented, like Killing Spree. You know, I feel like that really talks about like the rapper lifestyle. It's like, oh, they want me to be this, they want me to be that, but they don't care about anything else. It's just this and that like, they want me to be, but I don't want to be that person. And then most definitely is breaking the stigma of like, dude, I don't have to go to college to be someone. I don't have to be 6 figures in debt. I don't have to do this. I can make it on my own if I do what I need to do. And then obviously you have Hallelujah and Confess. It's just, two of Logic's best songs ever.
Yeah.
That just had, again, some of his best rapping. Anxiety.
Confess is crazy. Songs.
Yeah. And then Anxiety, dude. I remember hearing that song for the first time.
Fire.
Crying. Literally just crying. Because, like, Lucy Rose on the front end of the track and Logic coming in with that, just that absolute banging like instrumental and everything. Literally, I mean, I'm sure you guys have probably suffered from anxiety, and everyone probably has at some point. But it just literally represents it in a musical form. You know, it's just beautiful. And then the closer, oh my god, African has to be my favorite Logic song ever.
I love African. I love it.
It's so good, and he just like, it is such a beautiful song. I'll be in the car and someone will be like, "Oh, play me your favorite song." I'll be like, "It's 12 minutes long. You asked for this," and I'll just be sitting in the driver's seat screaming lyrics. It's just like beautiful. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I was like, or I'm not to cut you off, but I just want to add, like, conceptually, it is one of like the most like, what's the word I'm looking for here? I actually disagree with consistent, because I think he could have executed it better. Ambitious. The word I'm looking for is ambitious. It's the most ambitious concept, which I appreciate.
I can agree with that. Yeah, he definitely took a risk, and I personally think it paid off. And I know a lot of people hate him for that album, but it's just, I mean, if you understand it, it's beautiful.
I agree.
I think this album, to me, first of all, I also have to say this was the first Logic album that dropped when I was a Logic fan, because I started being a fan a few months after BT came out. So this was the first. I remember when the single Everybody came out, and I was on vacation, and I literally listened to that shit like 30 times a day because I was so fucking hyped for the album. And this album, to me, like in retrospect, this is where Logic, I feel like, this, I don't know how to even put it. No, not like retired. Like, this is where he could have retired, because this is like his, I feel like what he thought was his magnum opus. This is where he blew up to the point where people outside of hip hop knew who he was because of 1-800 and because of how popular the album became. He almost got a Grammy for it. And I think it's where he finally felt like he was at peace with the fact that he was, like, you know, biracial. And he kind of felt like he had spoken what he wanted to say about being biracial. And it just feels like, you know, he got Neil deGrasse Tyson on there. He got No ID to help him with the production. Africarian closes out with a verse from, like, his favorite rapper. He talks about J. Cole, and it just feels like a lot of things for Logic come full circle, right? He's got a diamond single off this album when he talks about how he's never gonna get like that popular. He's got J. Cole praising him. He's got No ID helping him produce. I think the whole thing is just like, this is what Logic is doing, what he wanted to do. You know, as much as I love Under Pressure, he kind of admits that that was him doing a lot of rap that he thought would appeal to people. And this album was kind of him doing what he wanted to do and putting together like a cinematic big piece praising, you know, diversity and stuff like that, which is what he really wanted to talk about.
That was a great synopsis. It's not my favorite Logic album for like sonic reasons, but like everything you guys are saying, it's his strongest album in that sense. You know, he hasn't focused on any themes as much as he did on this album.
So like I was saying earlier, so there's this. I don't know if you guys have heard of Chino XL. He's another rapper, but this, don't worry, this ties in, I promise. He has this one song called "What Am I?" And I remember going through, like, because I used to get made fun of in school all the time for being mixed, and it was like, you know, pick a side, like, oh, you think you're black, oh, you want to be white, so that is like, so this song Chino XL made is pretty much like, because he's Hispanic and black, so he made this whole song about it, and it just, the whole album of Everybody reminds me of that song expanded, and it makes me so happy because one, I love the song, it helped me through a lot, but Everybody just took what I loved about that song and made it into an entire concept, and just blew me away. I remember hearing it for the first time. I listened to it like 3 times in a row because I was just fucking, like, my mind was blown. Like, I couldn't believe that anyone had made music like that. And also, I used to be really sheltered and only listen to Christian music for the longest time. So,
Yeah.
but listening to that, it was like, people can actually make music with substance that touches me, that means something to me, you know?
Yeah.
And that's when I started listening to like Under Pressure and Hits and all this stuff too.
I was just going to say, that's what I had a list of criticisms that people have of Everybody that I have like thought about for a long time. And I have like, I feel like decent arguments against what the criticisms are. Before I say that though, the album art, come on, the album art for this album, come on. Yeah, no, this album art is a fucking masterpiece.
Cross genre.
Yeah. So let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
And besides that, the thing I hear a lot about this album is that it's too preachy. And to me, it's like, nobody ever criticizes like Kendrick for being too preachy.
Yeah, like,
nobody ever like.
Man.
Yeah, it's called conscious rap, and if you don't want to hear conscious rap, then go listen to someone else who isn't making conscious rap. And like you said, this album maybe isn't for a lot of the people who, you know, for people, there's not a lot of people out there who are, you know, biracial and are going to listen to this and be like, wow, this is like just for me, right? That might be like a somewhat niche demographic for it, but this album is for them. This album's for people with anxiety. This album's, you know, it's just like, sometimes it's not for you, and instead of saying it's terrible or it's too preachy, how about you just admit it's not for you and you can't relate to any of the themes because you don't struggle with any of the things that Logic talks about on this album. And at the same time, one of the things I really hate is when people criticize songs like Killing Spree or like Inkblot. Inkblot gets the most hate on this album because Juicy J tells you to kill yourself. First of all, I think it's funny because it's Juicy J.
People are dumb. They don't understand the fucking song.
You can literally, yeah.
His perspective,
exactly. If you go to the Genius page for Inkblot, it explains word for word that the song is not, you know, and maybe it's a smidge distasteful for Juicy J to say kill yourself, right?
I get highlighted
on that album,
the point
but
trying to make more. Honestly,
I don't think it's as hypocritical as people made it out to be. And the other thing, 1-800 was the biggest. Everyone was like, I hate 1-800. I hate 1-800. This is so corny or whatever. And it's like, do you or do you not? Can you admit that it led to like a huge spike in calls to the suicide hotline? It led to legislation that got the number changed to 988 to be easier for people to remember and easier for people to find and call. It made a real impact. And just because you weren't suicidal and it didn't resonate with you doesn't mean it's a bad track, right? Like, clearly if it was a bad track, it wouldn't have gotten over 1 billion plays and gone diamond. Like, there's just a lot of this stuff is just people kind of analyzing this from a really shallow perspective and not being able to relate to it, and because they can't relate to it, they call the album corny and bad and too preachy for that.
Yeah, you know what they say, who can relate?
Woo!
Okay.
Just 30 miles from Detroit.
What's up, player?
Hey.
Good.
What's up, Big? How you doing?
What's up? I'm good. How about you?
All right, I'm good. So let the people know, Vig, if they don't know, who you are and what your favorite Logic album is and why. Of course, hydrate first as well. I'll do the same.
Yeah, water. What's up, guys? My name is VIG. Well, actually, my name is Vig. I go by VIG. I make music. I'm a music producer. I make mostly samples, but I do beats as well. I've been fortunate enough to be working with Logic and the team for a year and a half now. They've been great. They've treated me really well. Super dope guys. My favorite Logic album is probably BT2.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Personal preference. I think the replay value is incredible. The production is tight. It was the first Logic album that I like stayed up till midnight to like wait until it dropped. And I think just like the rollout and everything going with it, like the Rick and Morty shit he did, a Contra music video is still one of the most fire videos I've like to this day. Yeah, probably BT2. I mean, there's like joints on like albums here and there that like I would put up there, but as like a project, yeah, BT2.
Yeah, and it's like it's pretty diverse, I'd say, for like you got a lot of different sounds on that album. And like as far as his trap stuff, it's got some hard trap shit. I think I might like Confessions more personally, but
Confessions has better trap beats, but BT2 has better music in my opinion.
I
agree.
Yeah, there's more content in BT2, and like it was
I mean, as a producer, like I'm always studying. Like I always listen to production first. Like I could give a fuck about lyrics. I mean, I care, but like if the beat is hard, I can get by with like so voice. But even if the voice is amazing, if the beat sucks, I can't get with it.
I agree.
I mean, you can hear like the evolution in Six's beat making like over the years. Like just listen to the sound selection on Under Pressure, on Tits, on BT1. Like it's just a lot more basic, a lot more rudimentary, and then he starts experimenting with like tighter, just snappier sounds.
Yeah, and part of like we were talking about Under Pressure, like part of the reason that's my favorite Logic album, but like a lot of the part of the reason is just for like what that album played in my life at that moment.
No, yeah, of course.
But as far as
as far as like sentimentality, I would say BT3 because I was on that.
Hey, that placement, hey,
yeah. No, it was actually pretty crazy because that BT2, like Bobby Tarantino versus Everybody tour, was the very first concert like I'd ever been to ever.
Yeah.
And I have like pictures like with my homies at the show, and then like a couple years later, I'm on the next one. Like it's crazy.
You're on the next for that tour. That's just wild. That's just wild, man. But
thank you, bro.
Fuck yeah, man. That's an interesting pick. You're the first one to say Bobby Tarantino. I'm glad you said that.
BT1 is like it's like just below BT2 in terms of like which one is better. I can go back and forth. There's definitely some cuts on BT1 that like Deeper Than Money is one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking love that.
It's that song, but I fuck with
it. Underrated as fuck. And I mean, I'm sure you can tell, but the entire second verse is a freestyle, right?
Oh yeah.
Literally, he goes off the top. It's like it's cool. But I would say BT2 is my favorite like project. I think because like every single one, except for maybe like a few, like I could listen to that top to bottom. Yeah, and I'd be good.
It's solid.
Yeah.
I will say, as far as like his more trap center projects, like the 3 BT3s, Confessions, it's the most structured for sure. Like it feels the most like an album.
I can see that.
What are like your top 3 favorite tracks on BT2?
Contra, 44 More, definitely.
Of course.
I go back to Yuck a lot.
Dude, that shit is hard, dude.
Yeah.
I like how he was like the whole like when that shit was coming out, he was like denying it that it wasn't Joyner Lucas in like a few years. He was like,
that was
out
of here, bro.
It's like Elton John in the song, bro. Shut up, bro. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That shit's
although actually, you know what? I would go with those 3 tracks. Midnight, super cool. I really love the beats on Midnight. It's just a little too like when I'm listening to Bobby Tarantino 2, I'm not paying attention to like the message. I'm there to like I want the 808 to hit me in the fucking chest while I work out. That's
what these tapes are for, man.
That's all I want. So Yuck is up there. It's a simple beat, but I mean he slides on it, and that was also my introduction to. So the guy that made that sample, his name is AG. He did Yuck. He did Keanu Reeves. He did the first half of Mama.
Shit.
Yeah, he also did the joint Backstory on the Doc DK.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did a sample on that too.
Dope.
So yeah, it was through that song I found out about AJ. Now me and him are homies, so that's pretty
fire. That's fire.
cool. So I'm always I like to go back. Sometimes I listen to songs just to rack up the streams for my homies. And if there's anyone in here that's like trying to make music and like needs like advice or wants me to answer questions,
we got a whole music channel in there. If you said some shit in there, you probably get some work.
Okay.
Get some people to link with.
For sure.
I appreciate you coming through, man.
Just 30 miles from Detroit.
So, Young Sinatra 4. It is an album. You know, it's certainly a Logic album. And I like.
Why are you saying it like that? Why are you saying it like that?
I fuck with Young Sinatra 4.
Yeah, what you mean by that?
I fuck with Young Sinatra 4, but like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I revisit a lot of songs on the album. I'm just not gonna sit here and pretend. I revisit Wu-Tang Forever a lot, actually.
Really? Yes, sir. Really? Yes, sir. It's too long to revisit. Like every once in a while, I'll revisit.
It's too long for me too.
There's a few others.
I think it's an underappreciated album, if anything, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you don't listen to that often, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many great tracks on here. Like Everybody Dies, Return, Glorious Five, Wu-Tang Forever. Ordinary Day goes crazy, bro. Like that.
Yeah.
He got what?
I mean,
Gwen Stacy on there. That's crazy, bro. Haley Steinfeld on that. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You know, Street Dreams 2. Like
Street
some
Dreams,
dope
oh my
storytelling.
God.
Street Dreams was good storytelling.
You know, Sinatra 4,
Legacy.
incredible beat, incredible rhyme scheme.
The homage to Mac Miller, dude. Homage to Mac Miller.
Obviously, yeah, we just some motherfucking kids at the end. Insane.
Yeah, 4 is real good. Like the title track is real fucking good.
The Vintage Tony Bob
we talking about?
vibe, straight vibe
Tony
the whole
Bob.
time.
I feel like
Bob.
people just have
Iconic.
Yeah, I fuck with Tony Bob a lot. Iconic's whatever me. I fuck with Tony Bob a lot though.
Yeah,
Legacy hits. Legacy hits
That's
different,
cool.
bro. That's a great storytelling track right there. Underappreciated storytelling track. Iconic. That's on and off. You know, Jaden didn't really do much, so I don't know why he's featured, to be honest. He said one sentence. I think that was about it. And then Last Call. It's Last Call, bro. You know, Kanye, Cole, Last Call, bro. It's Last Call.
Yeah.
Last Call has like my favorite Logic speech where he was saying that like don't worry about everybody, like just focus on yourself because that's the best thing you can do. Like
like when you're on the airplane.
Yeah, like they
put your own motherfucking mask on.
Like stop freaking out everybody, do you, because how are you gonna help someone else before helping out yourself?
Yeah, and the way he goes from a speech to back into the rhymes, like, you know, like back into the rhythm of the song. He's like, back in the days, his man's waving. It's so good.
Yeah, I gotta say one thing though as well. The cover art. The cover art is it's immaculate, especially since the mixtapes, dog. Like, come on,
that's
man.
a painting, bro.
And it was,
that's a painting.
I know.
That's the craziest part.
Sam's fucking
yeah. That's why I got it up here on vinyl, dog. I had to.
Sam's disgusting, bro.
Shout out NFT.
He's got it.
Yeah.
See, with Young Sinatra 4, I think it bounces back and forth with like fulfilling what I wanted at the time, but also disappointing me at the time.
I completely agree with that. Somehow, like, it's weird to explain, but yeah.
Yeah, because like, I don't know, it's weird to say this, but Young Sinatra 4 gives me the vibes and feeling that Under Pressure. I feel like Young Sinatra 4 was supposed to give us that Under Pressure feeling, and it didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I fuck with it, but it's really just a collection of songs, and like,
it wasn't really concise.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It didn't have like a theme. It didn't have a thing that pulled.
And that's the thing. It's supposed to be like a mixtape.
Well, I was gonna say, the
mixtape had vibe tracks, hard tracks, boom bap tracks, like turn up tracks. It's all there.
This is pretty.
And I feel like he tried to reach in a bag where he hadn't been for a while. So I feel like that's kind of the disconnect between the mixtapes and then like the actual final Young Sinatra, quote unquote.
Well, I was gonna say, it's crazy. Like looking at the track list, right? They're like two of my all-time favorite Logic songs are off of this project, right? So like Legacy might be my top 3 favorite Logic song ever.
That's a hot take. I've never heard about that, man.
And then
that's a good one.
YS4 is like top 10. And
I agree.
YS4 is one of my warm-up songs. Like before I perform and everything, I rap YSF. Like that's like one of my warm-up songs that I rap. So
that's badass.
The thing is, each song has its potential individually, but when put together, I think a lot of it might come down to sequencing. I wonder if he sequenced this project differently, if it would have hit us differently. That's another thing too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe the way
Yeah.
that the track listing comes in and the tracks hit us, if it was just rewritten, because there's only, I wouldn't even say there's a bad song on here. You know, there might be songs that I'm not.
I don't fuck with One Day, but
all that fun.
One Day exists.
I don't fuck.
One day. Okay, so So One Day, I'm like, you know, but that's. You could tell that's him trying to go.
One Day is that one wheel on the.
That's like you hear that song. I'm like, oh, he's trying to get another hit. Like,
this is a lead single with a music video on it. Oh shit! And it sounds.
Yeah, you know.
Oh shit. Yeah.
It's like one day I'm gonna you know.
Yeah.
So it's like
I wonder if go out and get it.
Yeah, if he moves One Day like later on in the track listing, or
that should not have even been on there.
Because you put One Day right before Wu-Tang Forever.
Wu-Tang, exactly.
You know,
like, come on, that's a little bit of disrespect.
That was trolling, bro. That was
you get like the fucking like white teenage girl like listen to One Day, and then it goes into like fucking New York, fucking
yeah. I was thinking about it, and I feel like some of the songs he was just kind of having fun. I feel like you can tell with him having fun, and then him like actually like the Glorious Five, Wu-Tang, Everybody Dies. You know, those are songs that you can tell that he like, you know, thought for the album. And then there's like Ordinary Day and like One Day and
don't
even
Ordinary Day.
Like those are just like super fun tracks that I feel like he just kind of threw in there just to like. But yeah, you're right. Like it goes from One Day to Wu-Tang. Like some.
I mean. Okay, so here's my response to that, right? Like I said before, the mixtapes, right? Dead Presidents 3. Then you have A Girl. Like, you know, you have all these tracks. You have Nasty, Dead Presidents 3, you know, Disgusting, whatever. And then you just have like, you just have a random song like the High Life or some shit. Right?
This is.
I feel like we also have to take into account that this followed up Bobby Tarantino 2.
That's true. The same year.
And it followed up Everybody. Like a lot of people might not like Everybody, but Everybody is his like most critically acclaimed project. And then Bobby Tarantino 2 really solidified, like he won't admit it, but he came at freaking what's his fucking name?
On Yuck, bro.
Joyner. He came at Joyner. Everyone was feeling it. Like everyone was riding off the high of that. The Rick and Morty. Like it continued that momentum. And some people want to like. So like I think YS4 just doesn't get as much love because it's overshadowed by its predecessors. Because in all honesty, even though I hate academics gave Logic his flower for this project. Like when it dropped. Yeah, I forgot who else dropped.
Oh yeah, he did. I remember now. Yeah,
so someone dropped at the same time. Wayne. And he's like, and all honesty, I go to this project way more than Wayne's project. And academics said it too. He's like, Logic's rapping his ass off. He dropped a better project this he got his flowers, so I don't know why we as a collective sleep on it. I think it's just because its predecessors like really
overshadow it.
But I think it's and maybe that's why we're so hard on it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a really good project.
Damn.
So
it is.
I just don't like Super Mario. All right, I like Love You Forever. I like Can I Kick It? I like DeLorean. I like Bohemian Rhapsody. That's what I like.
That's a little more than me.
The rest,
you're strange, bud.
I don't touch.
Baby,
Time Machine, bro.
No,
bro, Time Machine is so hard.
It's
he performed that live at the Confessions tour, and dude, that song live, it kind of hits different because he's performed it live like a couple times.
Yeah, I will say at my show,
you could hear when I saw him. You go ahead.
It just pissed me off because at my show, the piano, he had a separate mic on the piano type shit, and it wouldn't work. He kept trying to get it to work, so he's like, I can't perform. So he didn't do that song. But continue though.
Yeah, when he did Time Machine, you could hear like he was hurting inside. If that makes any sense, like it was like he had put his heart into that song, saying it because he was nervous to sing it because he had never sang any Supermarket like ever at the time.
Yeah, can we get some positive thoughts? Let me get like a
who are the ones that love this? This is your favorite album, right?
Let's just get it going. How we feeling?
CK Drone, you want to go first?
Supermarket, not a perfect album, but he tried.
Yo, and that's coming from
he kicks you out,
bro. That's coming from
y'all just dissing now, bro. Y'all dissing for no reason.
Hey, yeah, I don't mean to be disrespectful in any sense. Like, I'm really glad the album came out and he got comfortable with like doing that, but I don't like it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, right?
Same. It's, I mean, as someone, and you listen to a lot of music too, as someone who listens to other genres, studies other genres, I study a lot of different artists and everything because I want to get into like indie pop, bedroom pop stuff too for lo-fi shit.
Why the hell can I not see you guys?
This is like a it's just some of the things Anthony said hold true. It's like surface level of that genre. You know what I'm saying? Like
Logic,
it doesn't
in the video.
Yeah,
he agreed. He was like, looking back, he kind of agreed with them.
Yeah, it's like,
and that's the thing. Like when you're first stepping into a new genre, you're not going to invent a new sound completely just for yourself.
Yeah,
he's obviously got influences. True, right? He's got a plan what he was going for, right? So he had a vague idea. He's like, okay, this is how you sing. I got a little bit of training. I know the piano. Okay, let's do this. Let's do some guitar, piano, basic, boom. And the thing is, these are all like, I'd say there's only one song that I don't really mess with that much, and it's probably Vacation for Myself, if anything. I don't listen to the song that much, but I'm not saying it's a bad song. It's probably the one I listen to least. Lemon Drop's not even bad. I don't understand the hate. I don't understand the hate. I'll take the hate. Anyone watching this video, I'll take the hate. I don't know. I don't get it.
50, bro.
That energy between like all the songs is hype, bro. Like that's hype in its own way.
I like the
where he's like, I'm gonna do to get me. I'm set free. That's crazy, all right? And that has a groove, bro. And that chorus is so good. I think that goes hard.
I respect it. No, I respect it completely.
The fact that he got Mac DeMarco for 2 tracks on this, on his first, like,
So with you saying it's his first album, right? You're obviously not going to create a new sound and everything. I'm going to instantly, and like you're using your influence and everything and blah, 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 blah. We all know Logic is a big Tarantino fan. Tarantino is known for sampling people that he loves and turning it into his own. Logic's whole entire career has been built off of him stealing his favorite artist sounds and eventually making it into his own sound. And that's, one thing, the one reason why we fall in love with Logic.
Yep.
Yes, and that's why he's great. Exactly.
So
like if you love this artist, you love this artist. Like Logic's there. Like
when he's done that before on past projects, he executes it at a high level. Some people say Under Pressure is a good Kid Mad City ripoff. I can see where they're coming from sometimes, but not really. That's the biggest thing, right?
I kind of don't agree.
Like I can see where they're coming from, but like you guys, I don't fully agree. Like he sounds unique, he sounds himself. The Incredible True Story, right? The Incredible True Story is where he makes his first. I feel like The Incredible True Story is Logic's sound. I hate hearing the Kanye comparisons, blah blah blah. But where I'm going to like argue this is him dropping Doc D being his first album, using an MF Doom influenced style, creating a new sound, creating a new production style, all of that shit at a high level. You can't sit here and tell me he wouldn't be capable of doing that with Supermarket.
See, even then, right? Like straight up, different genre. He's already used to rap. Yes,
even if it's hip hop, it's still a different sound, different flow, and he's now in his production bag. He's now producing.
Even then, you can't really say it's like its own sound, right? Because most of the tracks, if we're being honest, that just sounds like Logic with a voice filter. He's not really doing anything much different. He's just talking about space.
It's crazy.
No.
We're both.
Sure, I just want to.
But like, I do agree that it is hip hop, so it is going to be more. It is going to be easier for him to do something a little bit more out the box. But like that shit was super different, and it definitely influences work because like Doc D is like a stripped down version of Vinyl Days, like to the production, like it's literally like it's him. That's his production.
Yeah.
It's not anyone. I mean, there are other people, but like it's mainly him on that shit. So I see what you guys are saying.
I just listened to Lemon Drop just now, and I'm just. I don't know what I just listened to just now. Lemon Drop
Okay, well, can I stop you there? Because can I defend?
Yeah, because this is your favorite album, right?
Yeah,
I really want to hear from you.
Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to an artist branching out, I always respect it, right? If it's like G-Eazy, you know, doing that rock album, if it's Kid Cudi doing that rock album, it's like, I'm not saying it's good, but at the same time, I still respect that they're branching out and they're trying something different, right? So like with Logic, like he said, like, you know, in Lightyear that he wants to do different stuff. Like, yeah, you could be doing the same thing over and over again, but it's just like, you don't want to hear the same thing over and over again. He wants to, that's the part of growing, right? So I appreciated that, like, he actually branched out and, you know, this was his first project because growing up, you know, rap wasn't like my favorite. Like I listened to Kanye and M, but I was mostly like alternative and like indie and like singing and things like that. So when I listened to like Supermarket, I instantly fell in love because that was music that I grew up listening to, right?
Yeah.
So like that's kind of where I'm coming from. But at the same time, this album came out and it was in 3 parts of my life. It was when I was falling in love, when I fell in love, and when I got my heart broken. And I swear to God that the girl that was, you know, in here, her name was Mia. I don't know if you know this.
Oh, in the book.
But in Supermarket.
Yeah.
In the book. Her name was Mia.
Oh,
I was
like you was dating a little Mia yourself?
Yeah. And she was like Hispanic, dude. And like the fact that like it felt like he was talking to me, you know?
Yeah.
And like hearing those songs like Pretty Young Girl and Supermarket and Bohemian Rhapsody, it was just like it felt like he was talking to me and it helped me so much. It's like my, you know how like on Spotify, statistics or whatever, you can see your most listened to album and stuff.
Yeah.
That, like Supermarket is my most listened to album. So like it was there for me when I needed it most, and that's why it means the most to me. Because like to this day, I'll listen to Time Machine and DeLorean and just like ball. But like it's a
those are one of the better songs. I'm joking.
Like I know you're good. At the same time, I can see why people don't like it. Like for example, you guys, Bryce, like it's just not something. It's not your cup of tea. You know, it's kind of like.
But like I agree with like everything you're saying, and of course you relate to it, so you're gonna have that connection. And I've been through similar situation. Like I went through like pretty bad breakup. Like and Superman, I was after Mark, and I've definitely like related to those songs. But hey, on a slightly lighter note about women, bitches love that shit, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. Bitches fuck with Superman.
Yes, sir.
No,
yes,
you play that shit for
bro.
Like, they fuck with it. Like I'm being 100%. They're like, oh, who's this?
No,
this is Logic,
true.
and they're like, oh my god, holy shit.
Oh shit, Logic. Yeah. And like, I agree.
Yes,
like
yes, bitch, yes.
No, but like at the same time, I don't know if you know this, but like Logic talked about meeting Britney. So obviously at the time he was writing Supermarket, it was whenever he was, you know, talking to Britney, and you know he went to her. He went to her smoothie shop like every day to go like visit her. And the girl that I was like falling in love with, she worked at like a coffee shop, and I would literally go every day to go like visit her.
Dude, bro,
so it's just like
Logic, bro fucking
yeah, like
that's great astral projection.
I'm not just like trying to flex or just trying to like be different.
No, you have a hella like a great emotional connection to it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
and that's why even if it's not for everyone, that's why it's your favorite album, right? Like that's
exactly. And, like
you guys might not like it, you guys might despise it, or whatever you guys want to say. Like this is special. Like
I fuck with all that. I respect all that, of course, but I don't know what the fuck Lemon Drop this was. No offense.
Okay, Lemon Drop.
No offense.
There's a couple.
Hello. What's up? Okay, so it seems that you are the sole defender for Confessions of a Dangerous. Maybe there will be more later, but right now, this is you, man. So why do you like this album so much? Why is it a top tier Logic project? Because, you know, as you could see from the large audience we have here, people don't agree with that. So how are you feeling about Confessions?
Honestly, Confessions is such a good album. I think it just like it got brushed away from like literally everything. It's like when you don't compare it, I think it aged perfectly. Like, you know, when we got some shit like, you know, Young Central 4, like people didn't like it at first, but then it grew. And now when you ask an actual Logic fan, it's like, oh, what do you think about Young Central 4? They're like, dude, it's a W album. You know, you got Wu-Tang, you got Legacy, you know, you got the Glorious Five. And it's like, when you look at Confessions, it's still really mixed. And I don't really see an issue with that. Like, we have some GOAT-ass like songs in here. We got Limitless, which, I mean, it's mixed, but like me personally, it's hard, you know? We got Lost in Translation, which was an Ultra 85 track, which is like having that on there, amazing. And then we got, of course, the self-titled Confessions. I don't see why people don't like it.
Yeah, and definitely like speaking of those two tracks you just named, most Logic fans and most people who have heard the album will say those are their top two favorite tracks. Not Limitless, people don't usually bring that up, but there are like few tracks I don't like on there, like Don't Be Afraid to Be Different, Bobby. That's really
okay, but like,
but the rest are fire. Like they're fire.
Yeah, it's like every album is going to have its skips every so often. Not every discography for an artist is perfect. There are going to be skips. I think Don't Be Afraid to Be Different, I think that is a skip. But Bobby is at least listenable. Like I could sit back, listen to Bobby. I could catch myself like, you know, listening to lyrics, you know, and it's like, sure, I kind of wish that like his dad wasn't on there because he doesn't really contribute anything. But I mean, it's funny how it's just like, it's Bobby Smokey Hall and he count my balls. Like it makes me laugh. So I mean,
it's very much an album where he's not taking himself seriously and genuinely like making like the type of music he wanted. Because I'm gonna be real, before Confessions came out, I mean, I'm still a trap head. You guys know the type of music I listen to, but like I was really into like trap, like hard shit back then, and I was like, man, like I know Logic's done his Bobby Tarantino's 1 and 2, but like imagine if he just like said fuck and did like an ignorant ass album, and then it literally happened like a year later.
And then it happened.
Yeah, and so I was fucking. But it seems that we have another Confessions defender in the call, Z's. Would you like to tell me why you love Confessions so much, Z's?
Confessions, I mean, the title track, there's no complaints there. I mean, I feel like if you like Logic there, you're gonna fuck with that track, probably. Homicide, I mean, that's like the first Logic song I ever heard, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Damn,
really? That's a little late.
Yeah, bro. Well, yeah, I got into him in like 8th grade, and so that's when he dropped it. I mean, I still love Homicide. All of these songs are hard live. Like, it doesn't matter if like
great.
I feel like if this is like your least favorite Logic album or something. Like if you are watching it performed live, you're gonna be going crazy no matter what. Bro.
Clickbait's so hard, dude. Like especially that one.
I do not care. That
line. I'd suck a dick just to prove it ain't that way. Like, bro, it's just like me. Like I'd suck so hard on Confessions.
Bro, I do not care. People, this track gets so much. Bro, this track gets so much hate, but I do not care. Like he's going off, bro. Mama Show Love. I love Mama Show Love. Yeah, Mama Show Love, that's my second favorite Logic song. There's like no skips until the end for me. Ski Mask can say smells like donkey fart. Why can't Logic do a Fortnite line, bro?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, come on. And then people still listen to that and then like they just completely brush it over. It's like, come on. Still Ballin' is very overlooked. Like even Wiz did like an amazing feature on
I see nothing wrong with that. A lot of these songs I do see like little things wrong with that I could understand why someone would have like a big problem with the song.
Yeah.
Not that one though. That song's
not Still Ballin'.
Yeah.
Like out of every single like Wiz Khalifa like feature that he has done for Logic, I still think that Still Ballin' is one of his like, you know, greatest.
I agree.
Kane Live was
one of the most hype parts during a show. You just hear cocaine, Molly. He had the whole section for Confessions at the Vinyl Days tour. That was like my favorite part.
Literally.
6 like song like fucking stretch. It was crazy.
Limitless is the song where I'm just like, that's Confessions right there. Like, there's a song like specifically for every single album where you listen to it and you're like, that's Confessions. Like, that's Under Pressure. That's No Pressure. For me personally, Limitless is the song where I'm just like, that's Confessions. Like if someone were like, "Oh, what's like a good song that you recommend that I listen to Logic?" I would probably say Limitless. 'Cause it's like it's very chill. It's pretty. If a person has an open mind when listening, I mean, they have an open mind already if they're listening to Logic. But like, if you have an open mind when listening to music, it's like Limitless it's there.
We all know Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is hard. He says Fortnite, therefore it's corny. He says Fortnite, therefore it's a bad song.
I don't play no games unless we talking Fortnite. It's so hard.
Dude, I can understand why people would call him corny. I mean, definitely with Will Smith's verse on "Don't Be Afraid," like
it's
like a.
And then he says Fortnite too. I just remember.
Yeah, that part's. That's the corny Fortnite line on Confession.
Yeah,
that's the.
Where he just says, "Don't be afraid to be different." Way too much.
Yeah,
and so that one's a skip from me. "Don't Be Afraid to Be Different" and "Bobby" are like honestly some of the only skips I've heard from Logic.
Bobby's good though. It's good.
I think the beat is good, like the rhythm.
Bobby,
exactly.
Like, I don't like hate the songs, but like Bobby, I don't care about.
Yeah.
I don't care for the biracial in his penis. It's funny, but I don't. It's just like,
it's
okay,
funny.
whatever.
Like, come on. Like,
it's funny, but
when you hear that, it's like you let out a little chuckle. You're like, hee, bro. Like that shit. Like when I first heard it, it got me giggling. And it's like it got me like my feet kicked up in the air. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's a good song. Like I don't understand how someone could be like Bobby's a bad song. It's a good song. Also, it's like the sample.
Yeah.
Like I like before I knew like I listened to the song like before it was a sample, and like the fact that like he how he traded it and like made it into how it sounds like Bob. It's like that's hard. It's like I mean I know he did the same thing for Bleed It, but it's like come on, that's hard. It's like the Bleed It before Bleed It.
Interesting.
I agree. Like, yeah, I don't think it's a bad song. Like, I could still vibe with it, but just with every other song on the album, like, I just don't care for it.
Okay, Confessions is newer for me. I think I listened to it for the first time like less than a year ago, maybe.
All right.
It's kind of a bop. Like, there's some songs that are a lot deeper than people realize, like Clickbait. Some of the wordplay in there is crazy. Obviously, Confessions, Lost in Translation. It's very underrated. Honestly, I think that there's way more good tracks than like iffy tracks.
I agree.
So, I give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
That's fair.
Okay. So I got a bit of a story with no pressure. I'll say this. So I was there at the Confessions of a Dangerous Mind concert when Rhetoric first previewed Perfect. And I knew at that instant that song was going to fucking go crazy. Like I was like, that was going to be my song for the next 3 years. Like as like the Street Fighter sample, I was like, I'm like the nerd shit I was into. I was like, dude, this is my song.
Then that remix. And
I think when he, I know
that's not really part of it, but
but still, I think the time and effort that he put toward it was sincere. It wasn't anything like his other albums, if that makes any sense. Like Under Pressure is from the heart, right? But like him coming to terms with himself, if that makes any sense. Like he was being pop for a long time, and this was like, fuck that. Fuck that. I am Logic. I'm doing all that stuff, but I have a lot of great memories around that. And like, I've picked out a couple bars like from Dark Place. Like this album genuinely made me cry when I first listened to it for the first time, because I've been a fan for so many years. Seeing the album cover, like the amount of Easter eggs on that shit, I was like, go crazy, right? Like to be a nerd fan and see this is like, it's a dream come true to listen to that album, right?
Yeah, man. It's very much like it's. So I don't mean to cut you off, but like it's very much like It feels like it's from like the Under Pressure, Incredible True Story era. Like it feels like it's just fucking tag straight out that shit, but about like his personal like topics now, which is fire.
Yeah, and like for example, like here, like, I'm just gonna bring a bar if that's okay. That like really sat with me for a time. On Dark Place, he says like, we make plans and God laughs. Feel like the older I get, the quicker time pass. Some people live in the past, others live in a flask. Even though your picture perfect life, it could be gone in a flash. Text it on your work on your brains on the dash.
Yeah,
that shit. Like I had stopped the song and like I had cried because it was an experience, man. That was like I haven't had with an album ever, and I hold it dear to my heart.
Fuck yeah! All right.
So that's me.
All right.
Proof as to why Logic's No Pressure, if I can get it to work. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, Logic retired after this album, but that does not mean why this is his best. He's not like signed no more, but still
independent.
Yeah, he's independent, but like, you know, that doesn't mean anything. He's still the best. All right, let's get it. Next one. The beats, just like this drumstick, the beats are finger looking good, and that's enough said.
That's a drumstick.
The features, all the features on the album makes you dance like nobody's watching except for your boss, who's wondering why you're making a PowerPoint about Logic, which... Lyrics on this album are so good that you'll need a magnifying glass to appreciate the wordplay and all the clever metaphors. I think one of them was like the seas over.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You know,
always is always
overseas.
Like a fucking what's it called, bro?
Yeah,
Critical lifestyle. I'm always overseas. Yeah, that shit, bro.
Yes, bro. Yes, that's what I mean. The closing track, "Obediently Yours," is like crossing a finish line of a marathon. Except instead of being exhausted, you just feel amazing. You feel this sense of accomplishment almost, and it's such a beautiful closing track. It makes a very good point as to what his message throughout the entire album has been up to that point, as well as his entire career and discography. And so the verdict is, in conclusion, No Pressure is Logic's best album. Anyone who disagrees is guilty and bad. So these are my sources. These are all my That is my presentation.
Yeah.
That is W presentation.
W presentation.
W. Fuck it.
Oh wow. Thank you for the love. Wow.
That was incredible.
Round of applause.
That was incredible. This is all you, man. So how you feel about the album? Give me like some thoughts why you like it so much. Just let me know how you feel.
Basically, I really like the trolling in the intro. Obviously, that's why it's called intro.
Yeah.
I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And then I thought it was a good segue into Vaccine. That's one of my personal favorites.
Vaccine is hard.
Oh yeah,
dude. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites off the album. And then I like how it cooled off a little bit with Get Up. I like the vibe of the song.
Yeah. It's a good song.
And then
we switch up too.
Oh yeah, and then we go into My Way after that. That's another good song.
Not a huge fan. I'll be honest, not a huge fan.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from too. I've heard that from a few other people as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular opinion, I'd say.
Understandable. And then Call Me, that's a really chill, laid back song. We go into Inside. It kind of gives me a little bit of 1-800 vibes a little bit.
I love Inside, dude. I think it's a great song. Like a really, really good song.
And then Flawless, of course. That's another one of my personal favorites off this mixtape.
Yeah.
And then the skit.
The skit is strange. It's funny, though. I think it's funny.
And then we get in the theme for the people. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it could have been better. It could have been worse, you know?
I feel you. It's cool, though. It's nothing crazy, in my opinion, but it's cool.
Yeah, and then God My Judge.
I actually like God My Judge.
Oh, yeah. Me personally, I think that would be a good, like, love song, you know, to... You know.
you know. I feel you.
And then I like how we segue there from... I like the beat switch and Got My Judge, too. Like,
that shit is hard.
You know.
It slows down. It's definitely a song that a lot of people don't like for the reasons. But I understand those reasonings because it is a very off the wall, it's not a very traditional Logic song, but that's like what I like about it, honestly. Like I like that he had the confidence to like put a song like this out.
I 1,000,000% feel that.
See You Space Cowboy that's my favorite song in the project, man. That is like, wow. It is hard, dude. It is hard.
It's one of my all-time favorite songs, one of them.
Dude, it's fucking hard, dude. It's real good. Well, the thing with BT3 is like, as we just did like a little track by track rundown, like the tracks are good. Like there are some tracks that are whatever, but most of the tracks are good. It's just the fact that it's not as concise of a project compared to what Logic put out. And us Logic fans know that. We know, the context of the album, like Def Jam and him putting like old songs and a few new songs on there. Like we understand the context, but I understand like from an outside view or even from like a Logic fan view, you could look at that project and it's pretty like forgettable for that reason, despite it having good songs on it.
Right. And I understood at the time too, like he even said it in See You Space Cowboy. He even said like, it's just, a way to get out of the contract with Def Jam.
Literally,
at the time. Overall, I mean, it's not like the first two Bobby Tarantino projects, but I mean, it's still a good mixtape regardless of that.
I agree. What are your top 3 tracks on Bobby Tarantino 3 if you had to choose?
If I had to choose, number 1 would be See You Space Cowboy. Number 2 would be Call Me. I would say number 3 would be God My Judge.
Nice. I thought you were gonna sneak Vaccine in there, but that just kind of shows they're good songs in this project, man. Could go pretty much any way.
Yeah, I was gonna say Vaccine, but that's like in the top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Hey yo, Bobby, hook this man up with a new laptop.
I don't even have a PC.
He can continue to give us content, bro.
I have an iPhone 8. I don't know. Help.
You do everything on your iPhone?
Oh, I know. I do it on the laptop, but like if I record a video in this room, it's on my iPhone.
Logic.
That's right.
If this is the mic right here.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
Logic, hook this man up, bro.
Please, Logic. We see your house, nigga. We see your house, nigga. Hook this nigga up. Logic. Vinyl Days.
Vinyl Days. Yes, sir.
I got a lot to say about this album, bro.
The production.
Okay, let's hear it.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mid. I'm just playing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro,
That's
It's a
crazy.
joke. It's top 5. Top 5.
Vinyl Days.
Yes, is Logic's return to.
This is
This is him putting up a masterclass. This is him. This is him asking for his respect, gaining his respect, and honestly putting up a masterclass. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. He shut a lot of people up with this project.
I'm gonna get it.
You know what? Oh, we showing off the vinyl?
Oh, we're just showing it?
Are we just showing off the vinyl? Hold up. Wait.
Oh my God.
This is gonna be the thumbnail. This is gonna be the thumbnail. Let me thumbnail right here.
Let me.
Pull it out too.
I ain't got it, bro. I think, dude, people need to give this double album respect.
Tracks up that joint, bro.
Yeah, can we talk?
I think this album,
Carnival was hard.
Yeah,
I think this album also shows how much respect the rap game has to Logic compared to the general public.
Facts.
That's what I was about to say. Is like, can we talk about like how many fucking crazy features there are?
How many legends are there, and how many newbies that he tossed up and killed it?
Yeah, man.
Especially
Blue,
Blue
and Exile,
DJ Premier, AZ, Royce,
and he held his own on a lot of these, or surpassed these artists. I'm not even gonna hold you.
And Funk Flex on the whole shit.
Yeah, Funk Flex was crazy.
Bro, you got like Morgan Freeman on there and Aaron Judge and like you got all the celebrities on there too.
So there's one thing I want to say about Vinyl Days is that it gave me an appreciation for Jay Dilla, Nusha Bass. Like as soon as I heard the sirens on the production and shit, I actually did a bunch of digging, and now like J Dill is one of my most played artists, along with Nusha Bass and all that. I would say this album.
Twitter bio. I'm so happy for you.
This album. I want to say this. Like I'm super into production now because of this album. Like I got an MPD specifically because of this album. Yeah, well, like this production style and like learning boom bap and shit, like learning he sampled Beastie Boys and going back and being like, oh shit, this is the fucking Def Jam drums that he used on this song, or like that boom bap. Like I've always kind of listened to it, but that focus on that boom bap mixtape vibe was like exactly what I was looking for that I didn't know I needed. If that makes any sense.
He modernized that sound.
Bro, my favorite is the girls moaning in the back. That's like my favorite.
That shit's no, that shit's hard.
Yeah. Like, I love that.
Out of context, hey, yo, clip this fool. No. Out of context, that's crazy.
Easy, and Easy has the same kind of tag.
So,
oh my god,
30 tracks, or what's the favorite track then? If there's 30.
I'm not even gonna hold you. It's hard.
I've not gone back to the album in a long time. I ain't gonna lie.
On vinyl days, yeah.
I got
Rogue One.
Rogue One is.
I think for me it's Nezzy.
Nezzy.
Oh, Nezzy, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that sounds pretty good.
I think her feature. I'm not even gonna lie. Like her feature, she went on.
The self checkout type beat.
She changed her life with that verse, which is crazy.
It is the self.
No, like she went off.
She got signed and everything. It's been crazy watching her.
All the time, bro.
Yeah,
that's just awesome, dude.
She changed her life with that verse.
Yeah.
Also, I like what she gets from the album.
Langston Bristol, fire.
Langston Bristol,
dope dude.
Yeah.
Too.
I'm on and off with him sometimes. I like his rap style. I like his rap style and song, and I've listened to some of his projects, but I'm on and off with his sound, you know. But I fought with him.
Stuff, honestly, that song is with Redville's hard. Like he put out.
Yes.
It's hard.
You know,
what's your favorite skit on this?
Favorite skit?
Favorite skit?
Tony Revolori.
Tony Revolori goes hard.
Yeah, Tony Revolori.
I fuck with the needle drop one, bro, because it's just
the needle drop one is pretty funny.
Yeah, so much. And it's like he's just like he's genuinely like asking. He's
oh, it's rambling, bro.
Yeah.
It's Sayonara a skit.
I want to go.
Could you count that as a skit?
It's like a last call type shit too.
That's like a last call.
I like.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's a more improved last call.
I still like how Fantano agreed to be on the same album where a lot of talk about where he fantasized about killing him.
Didn't Fantano like take that line like pretty seriously on stream? Like that dude was.
Yeah, he was sad, bro. Like, he stopped listening to the album.
He was like,
yeah, maybe he's into that.
Oh, and then one more thing about this.
He just made it
paying for these samples, bitch ass.
Yeah,
y'all paying all this shit for me.
But the fact that he made it so quick and it actually sounded so good, like it just worked out for him.
Because he vented. Like this album, he literally just word vomited, bro.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah,
calling out everybody.
Bangers. This whole album stays in my car rotation.
Oh, shout out to the documentary as well, the Vinyl Days documentary.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was dope.
I still think it's kind of a full circle moment that after using an AZ sample and pretty much all the Young Sinatra songs and all that, and then finally getting the AZ feature on Vinyl Days, like that's a full circle moment right there. That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
There's a slight disconnect with this project for me.
What?
I'm not even gonna hold you. I really like the project, but at the same time, it feels like something's missing. But at the same time, I also respect it because I think it's a project that Logic needed to make. You know, much like K-Dot with fucking Mr. Morale, right?
Mr. Morale, yeah.
What does it make?
Yeah, you know, like I don't know, like it's the same thing with Young Sinatra 4 with this project with me.
I like this one more.
No, I like this one. I like this one more.
Yeah.
I like this one more. It has a lot more standout tracks, a lot more moments and everything. But I think it's just vinyl, going from Vinyl Days to this, and then like the whole skits not being separated. Even though I like the skits, I love the rollout for this. There's just been a slight disconnect on maybe some of the rhymes, some of the flows for me as a rapper and as an artist that don't really connect with me, or sonically don't really connect with me at the moment. But much like a lot of Logic's projects, they grow on me later on because all I listen to are albums. Like everybody really grew on me. It aged well for me.
Interesting.
It aged really well. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you. It aged really well for me. I just think that if he handled the skits differently, that project gets
some of them were
the project goes bigger than it already did.
Excessive.
You know? Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like it's just weird. I just have to sit with it longer because I like the project. It's just like I don't know if I could put it in my top 5 anymore. It was sitting in there, but now it's like sitting at 6. It bounces back and forth before. Because if we're counting Doc D, if we count Doc D, D is in my top 5 over College Park.
Would you say like? Would you say that like
Doc D's top 3 for me? Doc D, Planet Destruction is top 3 for me. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's number 3.
You know?
Would you say that like College Park? Like you're saying that it's not top 5 for you. Would you think that it is his best? Like obviously it's not your favorite, but would you
his
say like
best
it's up there with his best?
Like best project?
Not his best. No, not his best. Like would you say it's up there with his best?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, slightly. Yes, slightly. I think that's why it bounces between 5 and 6 for me. Because I do put it up there because his production has improved, his rap has improved. He's starting to get out of the insecurity era that he was in. Like you can really tell that he loves himself. He loves where he's at and everything like that. And all these things, and this is so. I put it with his best just because it shows growth. It shows maturity, it shows growth, and it literally starts off this new generation, this era of whatever Logic's going into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to touch on that as well. I think if we were to put it in like a hierarchy, like if I were to show a new fan, I would show them Under Pressure, The Incredible True Story, and No Pressure. The next bracket underneath has College Park along with Vinyl Days. Like it has that next level stuff. Like it's still top tier, but you need to be in, you know what I mean? Like you need to be a part of the RattPack, we'll say, to get into those albums, if you know what I mean.
Yes. No, I agree.
Like he's going off on the Gaithersburg freestyle. Like he's got Castro, he's got Lambo, he's got. You have to have listened to the other stuff.
It's super cool because back then, like before No Pressure, when like people would say like, "Oh, what do you think Logic's best projects is?" People always automatically jump to Under Pressure and Tits. But now it's so cool because you can say, you can say Under Pressure, Tits, No Pressure, College Park, and Vinyl Days. Like.
Facts.
Right
You're
now, Logic is in his prime, and I say this a lot that like when it comes to an artist like M, for example, you know, he was in his prime back then. I don't think he will ever be in his prime ever again. Same thing with like Kanye, you know, but Logic, like it's very hard for them to like come back and show them like be in their prime because Under Pressure and Tits are like by far his best projects, but Logic just exceeded the bar and like made 3 back-to-back projects. Like if you don't include the Barbara Tarantino 3 and the YS collection, like like those are just kind of like to the side. But all those 3 projects are just like showing that he's in his prime right now, which is like it's just so cool to me.
Yeah, dude, you're absolutely right. You spin facts. Go shit.
Yeah, straight facts. You put that shit perfectly. That was exactly.
I've always thought about that, just like how it's just so cool when people ask, and I'm just like.
The one issue I see a lot of people talk about on College Park is the mixing or the mastering, whatever.
I saw this coming.
Wait, how do you feel about that? Actually,
that's no. That's the thing.
I'll let y'all go. I've had discussions about it. I will get to.
Okay.
Like I'm like you, Bryce. I listen to a lot of like weird stuff, like random stuff, and I don't really hear it. The one gripe I have is on "Come On Down."
Yep.
The 808s are so muffled.
Yeah.
It's not even like there's barely any hype on it. That's the one issue I have with the album.
It's like you can feel the climax coming, and then you're just like,
it's just boom.
Like it's Sea Space Cowboy. As soon as you hit play, you hear that beat. You hear like. The 808s, and then whenever you listen to "Come On Down," it's just like it's such a banger, but at the same time, it's just like it doesn't give you goosebumps.
The drums don't hit.
Yeah. And I will say like, I've noticed like there's vocal clipping. It's not a mixing issue. It's just the way they clip the vocal tracks. But there's vocal clipping in the hook for Shimmy, like twice in the hook. You can hear that shit. It's pretty fucking obvious. And like I can't really notice the mixing. Like I'm saying, I listen to like fucking like kids in their basement type shit. Like I don't. It's just music to me. But I did reach out to because a lot of people were saying Gaithersburg freestyle was terribly mixed. I reached out to Eugene, like that's my guy. So like, I asked him.
No, they're
I didn't
They're high. It's supposed to be sounded like
That's
that.
what I'm saying. I reached out to Eugene. I'm like, there's a lot of like people complaining. I'm like, how? Just I knew how I felt. I was like, there's no problem. But I was like, how do you feel as it's your song? And
you're
like,
curious.
They're tripping. Yeah, he was like, they're tripping. You know, and I talked to JRB and Vig, who was in here earlier, about like other mixing issues. And
shout out JRB. Shout out JRB. That guy's fucking sick.
you know, and they were like,
JRB is
there's
dope.
nothing wrong with it. Like, people are tripping. So
Gaithersburg freestyle. Is it me or does Logic sound younger? Like he made himself sound younger in that song.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, right?
I think he has
I hear
like
it.
the way he's rapping, like delivering it in a higher pitch.
Yeah,
there's more.
He did that on 5 hooks.
Yeah,
It's like back to the beats, like it's a There's more energy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first song.
It's just a higher pitch.
But that was only like 2 years ago, so it's really not.
Trying to get a WWE feed.
Oh damn,
you're still 30, so
it goes hard though.
No, I think one thing about College Park though, like I talked to you, Bryce, about it in the last, like when you reviewed College Park about going to the listening party and shit.
Yeah.
I will say it's enhanced a little bit for me because I was there and got to talk to Logic right there. Like that was.
Was he the homie standing in the fucking
yes sir
in the red suit? Oh my nigga, hey bro, what's good, man?
That's so funny.
It was crazy, and I'll say it was an adventure that like I had no idea I was gonna take, and I was just like, fuck it, we send it. I'm from like Vancouver, Canada, like Nardwar type shit, where he's up there, and I'm like, fuck it, we ball, no sleep into that fucking line, like for 30 over 24 hours. Yeah, so like I did it nonstop over 24 hours of a drive basically, and I have a electric car, like I've just got a whatever, so I've charged on the way there, and I literally did not sleep. I drove straight for basically 2 days straight of time to then literally pull into the concert and literally jump out and meet the people I met off the subreddit.
That's dope.
And like
you have that adrenaline in you.
Dude, it was different, and I think it enhanced the album for me. Like, and then the vibe of College Park, I'll say, is unlike any album experience I've ever had, like ever. And I think that's why the songs hit a little harder for me. Yeah, for me as well. Like, it's just, it was beautiful to say that I was a member of the RattPack, if that makes any sense. Like, it was like, it's amazing to say I'm a part of this community.
I mean, yeah.
And it felt heartfelt. That's why.
And we know
was
the story. Like fans know the story, and those who don't will now know the story. But it's like it's cool, like knowing about all this shit for years and then seeing it play out. So like I completely understand how someone who isn't in the RattPack, like we were saying earlier, it's not as accessible. They could listen to this shit and be like, "What?" Like what? As far as this, like I get that.
My experience, like that was my first time ever seeing Logic live or in person, or being in an event with other people that like truly appreciate his music, right? And it's always funny to me because like there's a running joke with my niggas when I'm in the studio with them and everything like that. like, hey yo,
Logic fan.
Hey yo, your boy, yeah, you know, they're like, we know you like Logic, blah blah blah, black and white, and I'm like, yo, niggas, like, we just trying to make music right now, like, you know,
why you gonna call me out like that?
You know, but like,
do him like that. That's crazy.
It was his stage presence, his confidence as a performer, his crowd control, all this shit. I'm watching this, and it's like amazing to me as an artist being like, yo, there's no way this nigga would have never been who he was.